What am I entitled to recover in my car damage claim? Most wrecks that people are involved in don't involve personal injury, and sometimes people want me to handle their property damage claim uh, when it's just the car only. And there's reasons that we don't normally do that I'll explain. But what are you entitled to get? Well, first of all, you need to document everything that you have sustained. You need to document your car damage. And this is something I really shouldn't have to say, but I see this all the time and I get frustrated with it sometimes. But make sure you take pictures where you can see the entire car. I have some people send me car damage pictures and all I can see is a busted piece of metal and I can't tell where it even is on the car. I like to tell people take pictures from every angle, from all four corner angles where you can see the entire car, and then get closer pictures if you need to, but put it in perspective, put it in context so you can see. Take pictures at the scene if you can, take pictures of the roadway, gouge marks if you're able to, if you're not significantly injured and you are able to get out and take pictures. Document the other person's car. That is very important. Sometimes, particularly in personal injury cases, I'm kind of bleeding over into that now, but if you're rear-ended, there may not be very much damage to your car, but the other car went underneath yours and the hood is in the windshield. So document that. They always try to just take pictures of your car, but they don't show what the other damage was that was really severe. So what do you get? Typically, after your car has been damaged, maybe it had to be towed, maybe it's drivable, but the car may say, the insurance company for the car that hit you may say, oh, this is one of our preferred shops. Should we use a preferred shop? Ironically, I think that you should use a preferred shop, and here's why. If the preferred shop can't get to your car for a while for whatever reason and they have excessive storage charges, it's not your fault because you're using their shop. For example, if you got hit by an Allstate person, they said, this is one of our preferred shops, go to JB Collision. And you go to JB Collision, they're going to warranty repairs. Most shops will do that anyway. And they're responsible for taking too long. If their rental goes long, they'll still pay the rental and such. So the problem is if you go to your own body shop that you select and they've got a 3-week delay in getting parts or whatever, or getting to it because they're so backlogged, and you're in a rental car that entire time, sometimes Allstate, in this example, would not pay your rental and say, like, hey, it's not our fault they got to wait 3 weeks. If you'd gone to our preferred shop, we could have got you in right away. So just be aware of that. It's one of the few times I might agree with the insurance company. But you're entitled to get all of your car damage paid for, plus a rental car, unless your car has been totaled. If your car has been totaled, you're entitled to a rental car, but only until the insurance company makes an offer for your case. So this creates quite a dilemma many times because the insurance company will make an offer and they say, oh, yeah, we're going to pull you out of that rental now. Most of the time, the insurance company will give you a couple of days of rental, but as soon as you know your car is totaled, you need to be looking for a replacement car as soon as possible because you're going to be stuck without wheels if you don't have an extra vehicle, and you've got to do this yourself. It's a pain, and replacing your car is always hard. So what is the value that you're entitled to receive? You're entitled to receive the retail value of your car immediately before it was involved in this wreck. So if you're driving a vehicle and it's worth on the open retail market, not person to person or off non-retail, but retail market, that's what you're entitled to, plus tax, tags, title, and license and all that. So if you've got a car, let's say it was a gift to you, a in-law or somebody or a parent left it to you or gave it to you, and it's involved in a wreck. And let's say, I'm just making up numbers, it's worth $20,000 immediately before the wreck. And you get that from data. You get a lot of data from Kelley Blue Book or NADA.com. Like, what is the value? Get as much data as you can to support your discussion with the adjusters. Like, hey, you're lowballing me. I'm finding all these cars and you're telling me it's worth $2,000 less. I'm just not finding any cars like that. Have data and you can negotiate that. if your car is worth, for example, $20,000 and you don't owe a penny on it, your car is worth $20,000. But what if you're upside down in your car? What if you owe $22,000 on your car and it's only worth $20,000? Well, your car's worth what your car is worth. It's worth $20,000 whether you don't owe a penny on it or you owe more than it's worth. So you're going to have to make arrangements to deal with that excess and get that paid off. It's a terrible situation. You got to pay money on a car you don't have. But if you're upside down, you're upside down, and the insurance company doesn't owe you more money because of that. What if your car is left to you, or you say you had a truck and it was sentimental and you and your grandfather built this truck and like, this is mine and granddad's truck, it's so sentimental to me, and your insured came along and destroyed it, what extra money is that worth? The answer is none. It's not worth any extra money. Your truck is worth whatever it could be sold for on the retail open market. I feel for you. I've got sentimental things for my mother and my grandparents, but it's only sentimental to me. It's not sentimental to anybody else. So you need to know that if you're just out of luck on that, there's not much you can do. What if your car is not totaled? What if it's repairable, but it's been wrecked now? Now it's got a title and not a clean title on it anymore. It's got damage history, Carfax. It's got a negative inference on the Carfax. This is what's called loss of value or diminution of value. And so that is on the premise that if you have two Denali trucks and one's been involved in a wreck, has had 25,000 in damage, and this one's same year, make, model, same condition, great paint job, both of them, and this one's never been wrecked. Which truck is more or worth more? Well, the truck that's never been wrecked is the one I'd prefer to buy. I wouldn't prefer to buy one and just take a chance that the repairs were done correctly. I would buy the one that's never been repaired. The one that's never been repaired is worth what it's worth on the open market if it were totaled. But now your truck, even though it's repaired, it's worth less in the eyes of the public because it's been damaged. So how do you get compensated for that? This is what's called diminution of value. And that the way to get it done properly is say, well, this truck was worth $50,000 before the crash, and after the crash, because even though it's been fully and completely repaired, now it's only worth $46,000. There's a $4,000 loss of value. And if you had an appraiser look at your vehicle and give you a statement of that, that's what you could make a claim for. Typically, what I'm able to get from my clients is 20% of the cost repairs. So if it costs $25,000 to repair your vehicle, then 20% of that's around $5,000. It's usually somewhere 15 to 20%. So you're looking at $3,000 to $5,000 for loss of value in that. These are things that you can always ask the insurance company for. You can get it from a liability carrier, meaning the insurance company that hit you. But most of the time when it's your insurance company, between you and your own insurance company, and you wreck your vehicle, you don't get loss of value from your own insurance company. You only get it from a negligent third party who hit you while you weren't doing anything wrong. So just know that. If you have things in your car that are hurt, it's not just your car, but if you had glass set in the back of your car and it got destroyed, then that would be covered under property damage. If you had a dog in the car and the dog was hurt, or you had vet bills, those are things that would be covered. There's caps on what animals are worth, but in Tennessee, they're considered property. So you can recover for that also. If you have any questions about your property damage claim, please leave it in the comments below, and we'll do our very best to get a video on that for you. I'm John Griffith at Griffith Law. Thank you for listening to this. I hope it helps you. Thank you.